Okay. Hello, my lovely people. How are you today? I am Dr. D from Food Alchemy Network, and today it's time for Coffee with Ori on Monday. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I know it's time to turn up the heat, and we're going to be blunt about a lot of things today. So, without further ado, let's welcome Ori to the table. Welcome, my illustrious friend.
Well, thank you. And for you people that follow us and follow me, I apologize for not being here on Monday. Um, Today's subject is about the electrical currents that are happening in the universe right now. Not just electrical currents, but also the electrical vibration of this planet and how it's affecting people in many different ways. Um, Dr. D, because we've been friends for so long, she's always been very, very kind and very together. She's not one to really curse a lot. I do. I love to curse. She doesn't, and it's not an air. She's always been that way. To rub her the wrong way, and then you got the devil on your hands, and then I run. That's your problem. Anyway, back to what I was getting to. I was reading an article where I don't know if you saw it, Dr. D, where they were shooting lasers from the United States. They were shooting laser up to the something nebula up in the sky. And
Really?
I'm saying to myself, you guys already effed up this planet, and now you want to go into other territories to F them up as well.
Okay. You know what they say? That's why you don't give big toys to little kids. You understand? This is what I'm talking about. Prime example. Stupidity, stupidio. Ooh, grande purio.
No.
Stupidio.
The problem that I the problem that I find is the fact that since quote unquote civilization, okay, because they want to portray the civilization was just one color, but we know it's not. So we're not going to get into color, but I'm just saying that's where I'm going to start off. One of the things that occurred in Europe a long time ago is that they were known, even the Spaniards, they were known for taking shit that didn't belong to them. They took credit for things that didn't belong to them. They stole ideas from people that it didn't belong to. They believed that whatever they can conquer was theirs. Where they got that from, I don't know. But then they came here and they spread that disease here. And it still goes on. The rich is still trying to control the poor. And, what I find very interesting is that, you know, just because someone doesn't have all that schooling doesn't make them dumb. It doesn't make them uneducated. It just makes them different. Because as a medium, I didn't have to get a book to learn about spirituality or talking to the dead. I didn't have to learn all of that. I learned that from my family, and it was passed down, and it was like second nature. We would have these spiritual masters on Saturdays and go to church on Sunday, like nothing. So it never affected us. Like we didn't look at we didn't look beyond the spectrum because we already had the spectrum. So we didn't look beyond it because it coexisted and it worked, and now, like it's like, and I'm not, you know what, I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say, because you know that I don't like dealing with politics. But you know, since this human being has been in power, this human being has created so much chaos that the world, and it's not that person, it's just the people who follow, they create so many obstacles and so much chaos that they actually believe that what they're doing is the right thing. They actually believe that. And I'm not saying that these people that are in now are going to be any different. I actually feel sorry for them, because I know that they're coming into a mess, a really big mess. So they have a lot of, he, in a way, I know a lot of people have their opinions about this gentleman, but what I love about him is the fact that he's bringing on board so many women. You know what I'm saying? It's more gentrified. There's many women, and they're all from different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? Some are African American, some are Hispanic, some are this, some are that. And I find that to be very interesting, because he believes in women equality. And let's face it, the man is old. Okay? Now, with that being said, let's not jump the gun. Let's go back. I have a tendency of doing that, guys. You know that. Let's go back to what the subject was about. If there's people out there, you can call in, you can leave messages, you can whatever. If there are people out there that have been getting headaches, have been very emotional, like erratically emotional, their mind is just wandering constantly, and you don't know what's happening, or you feel like you're walking and you feel like you're walking on a cloud because you feel like you're going to fall, or you feel nauseous, or you get the runs and you don't know where it's coming from. Well, a lot of it has to do with the imbalance, because there is a big imbalance, and the universe is trying to balance itself out, and it hasn't yet balanced it out. But then again, we're dealing with so many different things that it has not been able to. You're dealing with sonic energy, okay, that through sound waves, it can connect to one side of the world within seconds, but the polarity that it uses is killing animals in the sea. But not only is it killing animals in the sea, what's really interesting is that it's actually mutating. It's mutating animals. So it's allowing what was buried for so many years to come up. Okay. Now, I want you all to remember that in history is very important, but archaeology is important to know. But see, now they get carried away. There are certain things that should just be left alone. There are certain things that are buried, in Egypt, that have been there. And come on, you already have like thousands of mummies. Why do you need new mummies? Leave these mummies, study them, study what they are, leave them there, close it up, and move forward. But no, the human species is too damn nosy, and they cannot stop until they turn every rock, to see. But what they don't realize is that it's gonna blow up in their face, because the universe hides things for a reason. Things, or let's say people that have come from different dimensions, whether people believe it or not, I've seen these doors open, so I know that they exist. And a lot of people have too. They just don't talk about it because they think people are gonna think they're crazy. Me, I am crazy. So I don't really pay people mind. But I just find that there's so much sadness now, and people don't really understand it. And then there are a lot of white lighters that are telling you, oh, well, you should do this and you should do that and you should do this and you should do that. My suggestion is pray. Pray, you know? Um, Basically, it's, you know, uh, if you want to write it in a different way, then write push. Pray until something happens. Whether you're praying to God, whether you're praying to the devil, whether you're praying to angels, whether you're praying to whoever, your faith should be strong now, much stronger now than it ever was. And I'm trying to talk to people that really understand, or I know that they're trying to get a better handle on their spirituality. My advice is don't try so hard. Spirituality is not that difficult. Spirituality is there. And as long as you acknowledge the universe by thanking the universe for everything they give you on a daily basis, everything else will follow. But I want you to know that nothing that you're doing and nothing that you're feeling is it has anything to do with you being crazy. What you're feeling and what you're going through is is the universe pulling you, because we're made of so many of the elements that the universe has that it actually activates. So therefore, when every time these people are dying, the souls reach out. Souls go as far as they want to go. They reach out and then they leave. A lot of souls, I'm noticing, and I spoke about this to Dr. D. A lot of souls are choosing not to come back. So kind of like the guff is kind of like empty. And for people who believe in that stuff, I believe in reincarnation. So I believe that there are so many people actually connecting to the universe right now, and they're getting so involved in trying to heal themselves, and it's called and that awakening is allowing them to complete their cycle. So when they cross, they don't have to come back, because there are thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people that don't want to come back. They don't want to reincarnate again. They don't want any part of this. It's understandable, but this is our planet. And this is our planet, guys.
Embarked on a journey of unbelievable resources and talent and understanding. Your body thanks you, your mind embraces you, and all your thoughts are trying. I'm sorry. Really, I had to get the phone over. Open that portal to the next galaxy, the next universe, the next dimension. Along this trip, kind of goes what we're talking about, the next dimension. It's Dr. Use the engine. Allow her to guide you, introduce you, and embrace our depth with greatly forces from the unknown to the known, to what we thought, to remove the illusion that you have about yourself, your surroundings, and your vortex of the matrix of which you live. Let's go and embark on this journey. Food Alchemy Network. Dr. Cecily D'Angelo will be pruning and proving with you, along with her illustrious guest that she has presented on this luxury network of Food Alchemy Network. So without further ado, welcome to Food Alchemy Network, and welcome our guest and our luxury host, Dr. Cecily D'Angelo. Blessing. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. Like y'all know that BTR is giving some static and some education, so it just took me a long time to get called on. So if you guys want, what you can do, what you're available to do, is to actually call in and actually it'd be a real interactive show besides the comments that we're saying today. So going back, I was listening. I was there with you. I got you. I agree with you. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I'm just what basically what the only thing that I'm trying to say is, you know, we are already living in a society that is so messed up. And why do we have to keep messing up the universe? You understand? The water doesn't have any the water hasn't done anything to us for us to go and mess up water and throw things in the water. You know, the fishes definitely haven't done anything. You know, people are wondering now, like, why these whales attack. Well, you know what? Whales have been attacked for so many years and so many centuries. It's time they fight back. That's their domain. It's not ours. You know, I think that we should be grateful enough that they actually let us go in, but I don't think that people really understand that, you know, what is happening is real. That the crisis that we're going through is real. And it is not a conspiracy theory, it is real. So, you know, I can tell you that by the time of by 2023 is when everything is going to start. That's going to be the beginning. And I was told this about 10 years ago. I was told this. October 2023, a lot of things were going to start to change and shifting was going to be happening spontaneously. You know, and I know that it's true. You can see it now. You can see how Mother Nature is you can see it down the street. Go down the street to the intercoastal where you had so much sand and then the water was back. Now the water is like halfway there by the wall. You know, I've seen buildings, brand new buildings created on Palm Springs, and then all of a sudden, like a month later, you go and the building is tilted. And that's because, you know, Mother Nature is reclaiming everything that belongs to her. So that is just one of the things. Like, you know, people think that they look at other people that are weird. They think that people are weird because they decide they want to hug a tree. Well, unless you've ever tried to hug a tree, you should not make fun. Because the vibrations that you get just by putting your hands on a tree, especially an old tree, and if you really, really just close your eyes for a minute and just focus, you will feel the weirdest vibrations going through your body because you're actually feeling the energy of the tree, just like a rock. You can sit down on a boulder and you can feel the energy of the boulders. You're not feeling the energy of the rock itself, you're feeling the energy of the ground in which the rock is laying on. So I don't think a lot of people have experienced that. We have a lot of white lighters. We have a lot of dreamers, which I don't mean dreamers like the Dream Act. I'm talking about dreamers that actually leave their bodies and I call them dreaming. They walk with spirit and
Dreamwalker.
they walk. So, you know, we have mediums, we have witches, um, we have people who prophesize, which in reality they're not prophesizing anything. They're being guided by spirit, by a part of spirit. Um, call it whatever you want. Call it the great I am. Call it God. Call it Christ. Call it whatever you want to. But at the end of the day, we have a purpose. And until we feel that purpose, we're never going to find peace. Because at this particular moment, this particular incident that happened these 4 years, it was supposed to happen. That's our wake up call. That is our wake up call of how fast and how easy our democracy can be taken away. And yet We are like puppets. We stand there and we watch it and we complain about it and we bitch about it. But what do? We don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? We don't. We pick and choose our battles. But you know what? Living, existing is a battle. And it's a battle worth fighting. Even if you can't fight, even if you can't fight to help Mother Nature, you have to help humanity. So what do? You map out a plan of what you want to do, and then you find the solution. You look on the map and you say, well, I want to move to this country because I know that when things start getting crazy, it's not going to be affected that much. And that's what you have to do. I believe that every American person should have a dual citizenship. I've always believed that. I don't believe that we should have just one citizenship. I believe we should have a dual citizenship, that we should be able to go and stay somewhere else if we don't feel safe. My outlet is Cuba. I go to Cuba and I go do religious stuff, but I go to the rest. Why? Because believe it or not, I feel safe in Cuba. A lot of people don't feel safe in Cuba, but I do. I don't have a problem with the military. I don't have a problem with anybody. Why? Because I'm not political. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just allow things to move on. Now, not to lose myself in all of this, what the point that I was trying to make earlier is that everything you're feeling is a vibrational pull from the universe. What are the steps to remove vibrational pull? Either you can take off your shoes and walk and I barefooted on the ground, let your feet touch the ground, and close your eyes and envision yourself growing roots from your feet and actually connecting to the ground. That's one form of breathing meditation, which will actually help ground you. You can go to the water. You don't have to touch the water. You can just talk to the water. Everything is a vibration. Everything in life has a vibration. How do you think the dogs and cats know when someone is not good? Because it's a vibration. They can pick up your vibe, and people say, well, if you're afraid, they're going to bite you. No, that's not necessarily true. A lot of it has to do with your vibration. If your vibration is vibrating at a certain level and the dog can pick it up or has to pick it up, then there's a problem. But people, please call in, write, ask questions. From time to time we find ourselves able, not understand this. Not every person who is a medium or a white lighter is going to want to teach you or want to help you. They're only going to give you a taste of what they do just to pull you in so that you can pay them so then they can copy you. That's all they're doing. So we're not from another planet, but I think we really are. I think
Who's
that
not from another planet?
us. We're
I'm
not.
from another planet.
Yeah, but like I said, but then again, I think that we are. I know that I've been given a lot of great gifts, and I'm very grateful. And every day I thank the universe for allowing me to be who I am. I think that our priority should always be the universe or the creator or whatever you want to call it, family, and then Earth. You know what I'm saying? The planet. You have to have priorities. A lot of people don't have them. A lot of people just go through life just barely making it. They just go. And then they assume that things are supposed to be dropped off on their laps because they feel like they're obligated to receive the stuff. They're chosen. I don't know where they get that stupid idea, but like I said, right now I'm rambling. But the reality is, people need to start asking questions. There's a lot of people out there that are smart, that are educated, and even people that don't have so much education, but they have other things that educate them. They've learned other things. And no one is stupid. No one is stupid. People act stupid, but no one is really stupid. People are very intelligent. Humanity is intelligent in its all. But then you have those few rotten apples that all they want to do is just take and take and take and take and take, and they let people like us try to heal what they've stolen, because that's what it is. It's stealing. So I would like to know people's opinion. So I'm going to leave the board open, and you guys let me know what you want to talk about.
Seeing if it's anybody on the thing. That's the face for King Two Face. Okay. All right. Still doing good. Okay. Got to make sure. So the line is open 563 999 3007. 563 999 3007. That is the line. The line is open. So let me add to this conversation. I want to say something. When I talk about someone and I talk to them, I don't just talk about them behind their back because that's petty and bullshit. I mean, ooh, I didn't
That's
mean to say that.
fine.
Um, it's petty, but what I say about somebody, I say it to their face. If I got something to say to them, do I not fuss at you and tell you how I'm feeling and do what I gotta do? Do I not?
Yes.
That's being real. That's not gossiping. That's not there's a difference. And that's what I want people to be. If you are dealt enough to open your mouth to do something, say something to somebody, be adult enough to go to that person and face them and tell them how you feel. Don't be grinning and chinning in somebody's face and that's not how you feel. My thing is what I learned, the universe is a beautiful MF, just like Shaq. Shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And the
Hmm.
reason that I say that, I've known, and if you know me, you know the universe take care of those who try to do something to me. I don't have to see it. I've seen it, watch it from a distance. It might not be right now, but it'll be tomorrow. So that's what I know. That's why I said I don't worry about things anymore. And I feel so good when I say that. Because like I said, I'm starting to feel like my Aunt Alice. When you get to be a certain age, child, life is so free and you want to run around butt naked if you could. That's how it is. Like the king is naked. Y'all remember that as a kid? The king is naked. He's walking around. The king is naked and nobody wants to tell him the king is naked. But then someone, a little innocent child, tells the king he's naked because everybody was scared that he got robbed because of his false ego. Again, ego. Um, my thing is, I always try to check, and I even said to a friend of mine, sometimes I think it's my ego, but then I have to check and make sure it's not my ego. Because I don't want to be in that ego based existence. That's not me. But I'm grateful because I have the right, no matter what I say it with love. It's how you say things to people that affect people. And also, the thing is, which you always know, the universe will remove the people in your life that are not supposed to be, sometimes gradually, sometimes abruptly, sometimes altogether. And I don't mean just from your life, but from this planet. Because if your purpose is greater than what they're doing and they're not walking their path, the universe, source, whatever you believe in, they will be kaput.
I
And
agree.
that's why I'm grateful. When you're ready, the teacher will come.
Yeah.
And sometimes people will fake it till they make it. And the thing is, you need to be mindful that energy needs to be exchanged properly when you're copying someone or taking from someone or trying to imitate. So I was a bit arrogant, I will say, when I did my podcast and they said, who inspired me? And I said, you know what? Nobody, me. But then I thought about it. I've been inspired by life itself, but the fact is, I've learned from many and taken some of what they've learned and applied it to my life. And when I was ready, they were gone from my life, from the lessons I learned. And I'm grateful for that. So that's what I want y'all to know. When you're ready, the person that you seek, the person that you want in your life to be there, they come and then they go. But the thing is, you got to do the work yourself. What are the work are you doing to improve yourself? It's nice to read a book, but what is your life experience for you to do what you do? How do you become a teacher? And I was talking about this. There's a new app I've like. It's called Stereo. I was on. If you see on my Facebook, it's so cool. It started off with me and my friend Misty. We were on it yesterday. It was so awesome. So in this place, you can talk about anything you want, and that's what made me like think. I really love my aunt Alice. She used to piss off a lot of people. You know why? Because she smoked a cigarette. She go fishing on Friday. She be fish frying, sweet potato, eating the best cake maker I know, but she would curse you out with one cigarette and a cigarette on her lip and be stirring something in the other hand and turn around and look back and make sure you got what she said, that she was talking to you. I loved her for that. And if she didn't like somebody, she told them she didn't like them.
Yeah.
She didn't do this stuff that we do behind closed doors. My thing is, I know what I do behind closed doors will come to light. I know what I do behind closed doors or in the dark, it will be said and always be brought. So I, again, like to be very transparent about my life, what I'm going through, whether for me, even though I'm promoting vegan or vegetarian and stuff, I always do that because I'm 80% planet. But I know for myself, I cannot be strictly vegan. I cannot be strictly vegetarian. That works for some, but it doesn't unfortunately work for me. If it would, I'd be the best. I was the best vegan. I went from vegan to being raw vegan, and I always said and always will state, not everybody is for that experience. Not everybody is meant to do that. Your body makeup, if you work with a proper person, if you don't know what to do, it will show up, and it's something that you need to do. So I was telling people, do some muscle testing to find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, what will help you, what doesn't help, you know, won't help you. So you'll know. Even so much as like everybody's on this alkaline, 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 alkaline. Do you know you can be too much alkaline and it can actually harm you and destroy you and actually break down and actually hurt your bones? I did not know that.
Anything. And the reason why it's gotten to the point where it is because they have used these remedies for so many years. They've overused them. It's like my generation was always pumped with penicillin. So it got to
Mm-hmm.
the point where our bodies were immune to it, and it really didn't do anything for us.
Right. You're right.
So I don't know. I just I feel the presence of people coming and crossing, but this cannot be the end. We have to continue to fight for what we want if we want freedom. Because
Right.
although we live in a free country, we're not free.
We don't. No, we don't.
We're
We
not
don't
free.
live in no free country. We're
No.
not free. So, don't lie to them. Don't lie to them. That we're not gonna do no lies. We're not free. You're not even free to think in your own mind if you really think you are. It's an illusion. Like I said, we are on a my favorite thing. We're on a holodeck. This is not really reality. It's really
Hmm.
we're living in the matrix. Ain't no, and I'm saying ain't AIN possibly ain't. Now I know my mama was sitting there just rolling over like she's a roast. You know those pigs that roll over. She rolling over. because I was not allowed to say ain't, so I'm saying ain't as much as I can. I'm sorry. I'm breaking it. Ain't is not a word. It's not. It wasn't in a dictionary when I was a kid, but now it is. But
It
then,
is. Yeah, it is in the dictionary now.
right, a lot of things. So I'm like, it's poking fun. You guys, if you know me or you get to know me, you find out with my humor. When I laugh, that means I get in a really good place, and I'm more spiritually open when I laugh. When I am really quiet and I get a certain way, it's saying I'm plotting, I'm thinking, and woo, all bets are off sometimes.
Hmm.
But and I scare people like that, and that's not my intentions. It's just that I'm thinking and contemplating because I know that I have a bigger purpose. My thing is, I'm going to ask you just like I asked the people this morning. Do you know what your purpose in life is?
Yeah.
If you don't, you need to figure it out. What's your purpose in life?
My
What's your
purpose in life, my purpose in life is to not repeat the mistakes that I have in the past, which is to complete this life without killing myself, without being killed tragically, and to help other people better themselves.
okay.
That is my purpose and my self-worth. You know what I'm saying? It works hand in hand because if they're happy, it makes me happy. It makes me strong.
All right now.
A lot of people
Okay.
don't understand that. A lot of people don't realize that in order for you to receive, you have to give. The more you give, the more you receive. But a lot of people don't see that and they don't think about it like that.
Okay. In India, I was taught when I was my friend, like I told you, my Bangladesh boyfriend at the time when I was in the culinary, um, was telling me whenever somebody would come to their family's house and they say I like, so that they would not get what he called the evil eye,
The evil eye, they will give them a gift, right?
they would give them what they say they like. That's what he told me. And I said, why? He said, because they didn't want them to envy or anything or have them harm. So you start over giving. And some people got to know that. So some people start to actually take advantage of that. Say, oh, I like this. Oh, I like that. I like this. I like that. And they wind up with nothing. And it had to be a shift. And I said, wow, that they really take that evil eye really, really serious over there in India. So they do that. But then again, a lot of cultures are taught, even I'll talk, you go down south, you go in someone's home. What is the first thing they give you when you come in their house? Or they offer you when you go in someone's house?
Something to drink,
Right. And then what is the other second thing?
something to eat.
Now, yeah, well, tea, but something to eat. So the thing is, the Southern is never, ever will you leave a house hungry or thirsty. If they don't have much, they will give the little that they have. I seen that in India all the time. I seen that in Thailand all the time. I seen that in Malaysia all the time. I've seen that in Belize. They will invite you in. They might not even have a place for you to sit, but they will invite you to partake of their food at the table, even if it's just rice and roti or rice and nuts and fruits or whatever. And they might have a little piece of, and they're grateful, and they sit down and they give out so that the people can actually eat.
Yeah,
That's how much they have ingrained it in them to help, is that they will give their last for them and break it off so everybody has, so they can come together. Now, we on the West are greed mind oriented, meaning us first, me. That's what we say, is that, it's all about me. You don't matter. And because you don't matter, I'm going to walk on top of you. Not good. Because let me tell you, the same people that you walk on is the same people you see. Woo! coming down. So be careful of the ones that you walk on. That's just a FYI.
I
I
do.
I'm in gratitude because that's what I want people to realize. We need to give back. And when someone gives you of their heart, don't turn around and try to sell it to somebody else, something you get, because I've seen that too. Where you give something because somebody likes something and you think they knew it, and then they turn around and sell it to somebody else, like they did all the work. So be careful what you do because that same person might come back to you and you're gonna need to have to try to fix it. That's the one
Mhm.
thing I don't like. I don't like fixing other people's problems. So don't call me when you done went to somebody else because they were cheaper and then you want me to come behind you and fix it. That is like, and I'll tell you right away, I will charge you triple, double, quadruple, and try to. I will do that on purpose when I know that you and somebody else and that you know that I do this work. I will do that on purpose because you trying to get over and I got to go back and correct somebody's stuff. So to me, you don't do that. So is a certain way that we can help each other and we can do it without harming each other. That's what I want us to realize. We can love by, even like I said, every day that I've been saying every day this week, meditate, 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 meditate. I'm putting this out here. I've said it. I want to have a group where we do meditations daily, whether it's in the morning, in the evening, where we support each other in the manifestation that we want, but also to get our mind clear and rise spiritually up. So we're at another level. That's what I want to see happen. So I put it out there and I'll put it out there on my Facebook as well. I'll put it on Dr. D or Dr. Cicely D'Angelo face page. So if you're interested in a meditation, we're going to hold a group. You get together, you call in, we see, and we check with each other to make sure that we're where we want to be. But also, the fact is, what I would like to see with the meditation, um, there's some maybe some baths that we can do, all kinds of things we can get ourselves. This is coming together collectively that we can do to get to the next level. Um, that we can do and explain why we're doing this, why we're taking this herbal bath. These are things, but there's also courses that you can offer. Ori, how I learned to actually do some candles was learning from, oh shoot, I can't even give you that credit, but you taught the person I learned from.
Mhm.
So the thing is, he only taught what he knew, and I had to go and develop myself and realize how to read a flame, how to read a candle. These are things that need to be done that we're not even talking about. How do you read a candle? What does it mean when it burns this way? What, the flame, how just to read the flame. Even you can actually do magic with a, what is it? The matchsticks, fire stick.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? There's things that you can do in reading the fire of how to get that. That is magic. You can even read the water. There's different aspects of divination that you can read and know about that will help you get to where you need to be or want to be. So when you know that you're meditating, you also, when you meditate, you'll also meet your higher guides. But you got to go in, you got to do the work, you got to be committed. And that's what I'm looking for. If you're looking for and you want somebody that's committed by yourself, that's going to help you, I'm your gal. Or you, like I said, reach out to Ori. Um, and he knows this, like he said, he's spiritual. I was not born into it like Ori. I was not blessed like that. I was just born with it. And I had my family try to shut it down because it scared them. And when I understood when I got older and I had children, Spirit was so happy that I was so open. Oh my gosh, all kinds of things started happening.
Yeah, but
Uh,
that's how it
and
is.
so I got all kinds of voices, and I'm like, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. But to them, at the time, I wasn't doing it fast enough. But the fact that I got there, I felt like, oh my gosh, they want to take over. So I had to get to the ocean. and actually get myself fixed. That's why I'm always grateful for learning Yemaya or Mama Water, many names. That's also how I know, and you guys know, I have a mermaid right here. That mermaid, I seen her, what, how many years ago? Maybe 20 years ago,
Okay.
walking on the beach or so. I didn't realize when I got her drawn. I went to Hawaii and I was living there and I asked this guy, I want you to draw a mermaid, but I want you to put my face on this mermaid. And I took a picture of me and he drew the picture and from there and he drew me on me. And it wasn't until this year that I realized the mermaid that I had him draw on me was me that I dreamed about 20 something years ago. I'm like, whoa, okay. So that brings us into self awareness of who we are. And it also can help you with past life regression and knowing where you come from and who you are. That's another thing. And let me know, for every reason, there's a season, and everything that you do, there is something that you're going to learn from it. But the people that are just for a season will be just for that season and be gone. Don't feel sadness, but you can mourn them because it's natural to mourn what you know and them being there. But also be grateful for the time, but also figure out what the lesson and the blessing was for them being in your life. And
Hmm.
there are some roots that are there that are not good. There's some roots that are bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So these are things that we need to know, especially in this time and era right now. It is some deep stuff that's going on. I've come to the point, I like this, going back to this mermaid. The reason I'm saying this, I was that mermaid that I dreamed about. I realized there, people might call it cuckoo caca, whatever you want to crazy, a loco, loca, whatever you want to call me, a loco, loca, whatever, I will be that. But the reason that I say, I know that I come from water because when I'm sad, I go to water. When I'm angry, I got to stay away from water. When I'm very, very sad,
Stay away from electrical shit too.
and electricity. So we learn,
Yeah.
I've had some issues around that. But being that again shows me, guess what? I am a what? A frequency. I am a electrical frequency. We're all frequencies. So what station do you tune your frequency to? How do you get to your frequency and be happy with that frequency? And that's what you need to learn. So getting back to the mermaid and why she came in my life and swimming in the ocean, which I love the water, I love the ocean, I love the beach. That's just me. I also love the mountains. And I've always lived in the mountains. Even my children know that we've always lived near the mountains. Let me stop lying. I wasn't in the mountains when I was in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I definitely wasn't in the mountains in Tempe, Arizona. I was in a darn desert. It was dry. It's dry there.
Hmm.
But that let me know what elemental I am. And that is a mermaid elemental and a real or a siren. That also lets you know something a little bit about my personality, if you know what I mean. I should, if you want to know, look it up. What a siren is, what a mermaid is, and what they stand for. Now, getting back to the ocean, on this ocean that we see, the ocean that we see and know has deep secrets. And we being human always try to dig deeper and deeper in the ocean. And the things that we're uprooting and seeing is because we are, like I said, this civilization, I'm going to go even something else. This civilization that we're living in, this one, this particular one right now in this dimension is only 5,000 years.
Give me a second. Go ahead. Keep talking. I can hear you.
Thank you. 5,000 years old. There's other dimension. The earth is older than that. There's snow that was covered. There's beings that were covered. We are far behind. We were at a place before in the past. We didn't have to actually. travel by vehicle to get somewhere. All we had to do is use our mind. So do you understand when I say we are dumb down? We are dumbed down. And
I
that's the same
mean, I
from my baby.
mean, we
Huh?
we are we people. Well, people think that we are the smartest species, but we're not. We are actually way behind.
Right. Thank you.
We're way behind many people. And for everybody that sees me with my eyes half closed, I have not slept in over 24 hours. I am wide awake, and
You're making your call.
I need to get some sleep soon. Hmm.
Okay.
But
You said, okay.
what you said, sister, was right, because we live in a society. Like we're gonna go back to what I was saying a long time ago when we the first time that I went on the tangent that we talked. And first of all, one of the words that I hate the most is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But perfect example. Who empower tweets?
Evidently. You're not supposed to be watching what I'm doing. You're supposed to be doing what you're doing.
But what I'm saying, who empower? I mean, I'm talking to people over there. Who empower tweets? And then the tweets are published, and then they say that they didn't do it. Or you're watching the news and he's saying something, and then he said, "Well, I didn't say that." And the thing is, there's so many ignorant people that actually follow that. Oh, he didn't really say that. No, what the hell did you hear him say?
Well,
Okay,
let me
no,
let me put it to you another way.
no.
This is what people
Hold on,
do.
hold on. I'm trying to get somewhere.
Okay, come on.
In Germany and in Russia, they've known, in Croatia, they've known about aliens.
Mm-hmm.
They've known that, there in Russia and Croatia, um, there have been people that have seen groups of people coming out from like I want to say a volcano. They've seen people come out with blonde hair, tall, thin, women and men coming out of there with blonde hair, and they are, half human, half alien. Now, the technology we've had it for a long time. Germany and Russia has always been ahead of us because they believe in the supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
and they believe in psychics, and they
Mm-hmm.
believe in all of these things. So we're behind because we live in a country that is like St. Thomas. They gotta see it to believe it. But then when they see it and they believe it, they want to steal it. They don't want to ask for it. They want to steal it because that's what they do. This is what we do. We go to other countries and we bully them. But it's the same thing happening over and over, not just in this country, in many other countries. And it is us versus them.
Them.
But in reality, there is no us versus them. There is a collective of people against each other for no reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, whereas one person would see something blue, I see it green. And if you say, no, it's blue, and I say it's green, and you say it's blue, I'm going to say, okay, then it's blue. Not because it is blue, but because I'm not going to argue over something as petty as that. But yet people want to argue. People want, it's ironic that I don't really know a lot about politics because I don't really care to. I
Mhm.
don't care to know. I got more involved this year in politics, just watching the debates and stuff. But I really am not a political person. Never been. Never care what's going on in any country. Been to communist countries, and at the end of the day, I've been there. But I go on vacation. I socialize. I do what I have to do, and then I come home. What do I? I don't care what's going on in your country. That's your country. I have to live in mine. Do you understand? But what I am mindful of is that when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. Sometimes you got to just keep quiet, just go with the flow, and just allow things to move, knowing in here that eventually it's going to fall all apart.
Mhm.
So when you were talking about and explaining, I think it's very powerful. But let's cut to the chase. We cannot live our lives being carbon copies of other people.
True.
Do you know what I'm saying? We can't, because people want to copy. How many people have you helped that have stolen your stuff, your ideas, the things that you have done? How many people? Just at the top
Not
of your head. Just at the top of your head.
more than 30 or 40,
Mhm.
but
How many times have you wanted to start a business, something very different, and you bring it up to somebody or you mention it, and all of a sudden they do it because they have the money right there and then? At the end of the day, we're supposed to be a collective of people that is supposed to help one another. I have
absolutely.
been fortunate. I've been fortunate enough that I have been given money to start a business, on several occasions. And it wasn't given. I mean, it was money that was put in, it was invested, and I paid everybody back, every penny. Why? Because I believe in paying people first. Okay.
Mhm.
But I also believe that that is what we're here for. We're here to serve a purpose. Our family cannot be our whole purpose. They cannot be. We need to understand that the same way that the universe is unlimited, so are we. We are an unlimited source of energy, and we're powerful, but we're more powerful as a whole collective rather than a separate collective.
Mhm.
It's just how you look at things that perpetuates the lie, because there's always a lie, an underlying lie,
True.
and there's always. I'm sorry.
I said true,
Yeah.
true, true.
There's always
See?
an underlying lie. There's always, they look. I don't watch. I don't. I barely watch TV. If I watch TV, it's late at night, and I watch a Netflix series. And I'm sorry, but I'm an obsessive person. And you know what? Leave me without sex for a year, 2 years. I'm fine. I'm one of those people. I don't have to have a partner. To me, that's not the most important thing in my life. The most important thing in my life is me. Um, I don't have heroes. Remember we were talking about this? I don't have
Mhm.
heroes. I don't have people. I have people that I admire. But when I said that one time, I made it very clear to a friend of mine. Oh, I really admired this person. Oh, I knew you were always envious of that person. No, no, bitch. I didn't say that I was envious of the person. I said I admired the person, not anything particular about the person, just the person. You can have great admiration for people and not like them. Now, I had admiration for him, maybe the way he dressed, the fact that he was a hard worker, but you know what? But I didn't really like him that much because he was a drunk and he was bipolar, like me, except he drank. And then he would be He would beat up his boyfriends.
What?
Oh yeah, it was like really crazy. So at the end of the day, I was confronted with that. Like I made a comment and I thought I didn't think nothing of it. And I just said, I've always admired him because I like, what he does, and but he's such a sad soul because it doesn't matter how much you admire somebody, they could be the most effed up person in the world. I've learned from experience that every therapist that I've ever been to, and I love therapy, guys. If you've never been to therapy, go. Everybody needs to at least experience it once. It actually does help when you're going through a lot of stuff to unload stuff out because we're a computer. We can't just keep everything in. Remember Y2K? They were all prepared for it to break down and it didn't break down. And I laughed because I knew that it was not going to break down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they spend so much money on buying where I work, they spend so much, hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy IBM new computers and all these big machines for what? Nothing crashed. But before that, people killed themselves. Again, the power of the media, the power of TV, the power of signals.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that Germany and Russia told the United States a long time ago is one, to put fluoride in the water, because once the pituitary gland is dormant, that we become kind of dumb, which we do.
Mm-hmm.
We lose our sight to be able to see what's coming. We lose the God voice inside of us.
The connection.
So I drink what? I drink purified water or I drink distilled water. I don't drink spring water. I don't drink faucet water. I don't drink any water that's not distilled or purified. That's one. Two, I like putting lemon in the water because
Alcohol.
if it's filled with something, the lemon will kill it.
I should.
Um, and I look at things of how everything is, not just one particular thing. And like I said, although I am burdened with the pain and the sorrow, and so are many people and so many white lighters that are out there, and so many witches and so many spiritual beings, shapeshifters, all kinds of spiritual beings that are out there that do exist. And I've been blessed to have met a lot of great shamans, a lot of great people that have done a lot of great stuff. But the world is suffering, and so are we. We wake up with sadness and we go to bed with sadness, but it's not our own sadness, it's the sadness that's going on in the universe. And it seems like we are carrying the weight of the world because people that grow up with knowing this stuff, they grow up at a certain age and then they automatically forget what they've learned and they go to church and then they tell you, oh, well, I'm born again. I'm like, born again from what? From a cow to a zebra? What the hell? I'm born again. What does that sound like? You want to come out somebody's twat again? I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, some people do.
huh?
Some
But
people
that's
do.
what they no, that's what they do. That's what people do when they screw up. When people screw up really bad and they got gifts and they screw up really bad by doing bad things to people and always trying to screw people over, they have no other choice but to say, I'm going to be saved. But technically, you're not going to be saved. You're not going to be saved because you can look for Jesus all you want, but you still got to pay for your damn sins before you go. And unfortunately, who pays for the sins? We pay for the sins of our parents. Our children pay for our sins. So technically, it's a vicious cycle unless you choose to change it.
Right.
A lot of people have gotten so comfortable in their lives that they've forgotten what it is to be comfortable. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, including me. But I always tell God, if I'm deserving of it, give it to me. Put me to the test. You know my heart. You know what I would do. And I know you know what I would do. I would share with everybody that I love, that I feel close to. I would share with them before I would spend for myself. Why? Because at the end of the day, money is there, but money, you spend it. Pay bills,
Mm-hmm.
you spend it, you have a good time, and you do whatever you have to do. Bottom line of all this BS I'm talking, the bottom line is this: as one collective, we should act as one collective. Not black, not white, not Hispanic, not Chinese, one collective. And if we can do that, if we can stand together as one,
Right, Lacey? I get you. Yes, we agree.
that's the solution.
Yeah, that's what somebody asked. What is the solution?
The solution is to do exactly what we're supposed to do, to love, not hate, love. Even if someone hurts you, let's be real, honey. You've known me for over 20 something years. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people that don't like me. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know it. But you know
Yeah.
what? I could care
Does
less.
that make it or break your day that people don't like you?
No, look, it just makes me more fashionable.
Smart.
It makes me want to go out. It makes me go out and buy more stuff. The more people talk crap about me, the more I spend. The more people put me down, the more I spend. The more people think that I think I'm better than they are, the more they're going to keep thinking that. Because I'll tell you in a minute, I never walk around saying that I'm better than anybody. You know this because you know that I come from very humble beginnings.
Shh.
But I'll tell you one thing: you people can say, "Well, you think you better than everybody." No, I never claim to be better than everybody, but I am better than most. Okay,
I-
I'm better than most. I may not be better than everybody, but I am better than most, and I do everything in my power to keep myself focused on humanity. Now, catch this: I'm not a fan of people, but I love humanity. Did you get
Okay.
that?
Yeah, I got it. So someone
Okay.
wants to know that down.
What do you mean?
That's what they said. Break that down. I don't know. Would
Okay.
your statement just that?
Okay. People, people as a whole, they march to the beat of their own drum.
Right.
80 about 86 or 87% of the world is walking to the beat of a collective drum. Do you
Okay.
understand? They they follow they follow let's talk about politics. Republicans will follow Republicans just because. And they'll talk about what's going on and how they're so powerful because they're Republicans, and most of them are white trash. And at the end of the day, they're listening to other people talk. And you know how when you hear something and then you pass it on, at the end of the row, when the last person got it, it's distorted, right? But yet they still follow it. That's people.
Hmm.
Now, humanity is the spiritual aspect of who we are, the ability to think for ourselves, to analyze, to be able to state the facts and tell the truth
Hmm.
and own it.
Makes
A
sense.
good 80 something percent of the world don't own their stuff. Like you said earlier, you know me though, because I'm a bold bitch. I will go to your face and in your house and knock on your door. I'm very confrontational when people look for me. But most of the time, I'm very easy kill. Why? Because nobody should ever have the power to bother you that much. Now, I'll come after you if you're talking crap that you're trying to put me in a mix of something that I didn't say, I didn't do, because if I'm going to talk behind your back, like you said, I'm going to tell you to your face. I'm not going to hide it, because the reality is I'm telling the truth and I'm stating the facts. And as long as I can state the facts and state the truth and tell the truth, then I'm dealing with humanity. But if I'm going to be following everybody else's genre, and I'm following everything that they say, and I'm distorting it to my personal, well, I don't like them because, they're going to do this, like what they were talking about. Oh, this new president is going to raise our taxes. Listen. He said 300,000 and more. Okay, if you make 300,000, how many Americans make 300,000? Not a lot. Okay, so everybody, and I'm talking about my own damn people. They make me. They don't make. Sometimes they don't make me proud. They just made me look at myself like, damn, I come from that stock. That's a damn shame. Because everywhere you went, I had to check people. I had to check people in Spanish and let them know, listen, what are you talking about? This is not going to be like Cuba. I mean, we are a democracy. Eventually, we will go back to it, because that is who we are. So people, you have to really. But then, like I said, then again, I realize what I say. I check myself, and that's what being human is. I mean, I don't know if I actually broke it down, but that's what I look at being human is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay. Hold on. Everybody on Blog Talk Radio, what I got to do is I'm going to have to play this little clip from there, like I do. Da 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 da. Come on. I got to play the little clip. So I'll probably. All right. Let's go.
I'm getting my second win again. Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's cool. But it is. It's good.
And you taking the time to relax with us. I want to wish you a 10-second blissful, wonderful time of return. I want to show you my appreciation from my heart for you taking the time out of your day and keeping me company on this train of knowledge of the other galactic, to the other side of the universe. Thank you for being part of Food Alchemy Network. Food Alchemy Network, thank you. And the guest, I thank you for allowing me to sit in the seat and accompany you and share your source of information and giving it your most highest, supreme understanding, overstanding, and all of that above. So thank you, my illustrious guest. Food Alchemy would not be anything without you, my audience. Stay tuned, come back, and we hope to show you a rocking good time on Food Alchemy Network. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Now that was it. I had to close that out, so I apologize. So I wanted to get that off the mat.
Well, I don't know if I answered the question, but if they didn't understand, if I didn't understand it right, or if they didn't ask it right, I can give them another scenario. A lot of people are waking up. People are leaving religion. They're leaving organized religions, and they're finding spirituality. Mm-hmm. So they're waking up, just like the Matrix. They wake up and they realize, where am I? Where have I been all this time? Why have I allowed all of these things to happen to me when I didn't deserve this? Yeah. But you know what? You were institutionalized. And you had an awakening.
Right. But they also like I said, I was really, y'all don't really understand how really important that Matrix movie is. And they're all in cocoons and they're feeding them their thoughts, and they really think. That's why I said I was talking about a holodeck for a long time, because I said this is not my reality. This is somebody else's reality. So we're talking about money. And the thing about money, which is very important, because people say, well, you need money. The reason you need money because you need to buy water, to place, you got to, even our environment, because now we got to buy air purifier. Back in the day, who would have thought that you would be paying for water to drink, water that you drink now?
You're
Who
right.
would have thought? They said this is in a book that they said how to get the people to pay for water, how to get them pay for air. And that's an air purifier, or put them in certain neighborhoods where they can mess up the quality of the air in that environment. Who thought about that? The land, the food that you eat. You're going to pay more if you want to eat good. But this is again about the root of money. How do you think that should be solved? Meaning that in order to live, drink good water, you got to have money. In order to breathe good, have good air, you need to have money. In order to eat good food, you got to really have money. So in order to be able to survive, you got to live in a good place. So your life or death situation is all about money. So that becomes the basis of why people do the B stuff they do, because of what they need. And we, the people, put value on coins that really don't have no value. They used to do back in the day. Cali shells was more money. Salt was more money. Sugar was more money. Spices were worth more money. You know what I mean? They were worth something. You were able to barter. I
Corn,
myself personally, I
corn,
think we need to go back to that,
corn,
because
corn was the biggest.
right. So I think that's what we need to go back to, because that, it had a, not only was it just something that you could use, but it did something. It helped somebody. So if you had a bag of corn or wheat, you could go to the mill and get it grinded and make it into flour, and that would be your exchange. You know what I mean? It wasn't about the dollar in the bank and this and that. You were a teacher, so you know what you're teaching my kids. So I might pay you in milk, I might pay you in cheese, I might pay you in something, I might even pay you in clothes. That's how we got along and being equal, and it made sense. Now it's the coin, and what value, like the gold was going up, up, up. Now I'm going to say this. I got snookered into carrot bar. That's another thing. I was snookered into that. The person that I got signed up went with me. We were on the line with the people together, to get this carrot bar. Okay. And we called and lied to me. And then the company went through a change. And something told me keep calling, keep calling, keep calling. I didn't call the person back because I didn't think that was their issue, because they were on the line with me before. But I went back. So then I did actually go approach the person that told the person what to do, because we were on the line together. So I kept calling her instead of calling another person that, referred me. And I got snookered. I even did an interview with the snookerist of Carrot Bar, Michael Dawes. Oh, I'm there for you. I got your support. Da 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 da. I'll call you back, and I did. I didn't get a phone call. Call back the other person. I ain't gonna call out their name. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be nice like that. But Michael told me, do this, do that. They were going through a change, so they changed up the system. That was not the deal. I was supposed to receive gold for the money that I put out. So I was told by the other person, oh, well, that was not your money anyway. So don't
Huh?
even worry about it. You won't get blessed. Oh, yeah, I was just told don't worry about it. That's what I was told. Don't worry about it. So that's the stuff I'm talking about. Gold was so much, and everybody was getting on the bandwagon for gold. But look at the gold now today and what it's worth. It's declined rapidly.
Mhm. Mhm.
So now I know why Spirit was trying to tell me to get that stuff. Ooh, you need to get that. You need to get that. But the person did come back and was trying to help me fix that situation. That's somebody else. But again, I called Michael Dulles, as y'all see on my video, because I did the carrot bar with him and was endorsing and trying to get into it. But don't be snookered. Do your research. Find out if your intuitions tell you not to do it. Don't
Don't
do it.
do it. Don't do it.
And
But see, that's part of humanity and people. Do you understand? You went based on somebody that you trusted,
Mm-hmm.
and they accompanied you through it, but at the end of the day, didn't resolve anything.
Mm-mm.
So your spirit, the humanity, the humanitarian, because it's not about just about being human, it's about humanitarian, being able to let go, being able to
Okay.
say, you know what, you screwed me today, and I'm gonna let it pass today, but you ain't gonna do it to me again.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because I got your number. And that's why I tell people, learn your fabrics, people. Learn your fabrics. Because when you have an awakening is scary. When you start to see the world in a different way, and or you're sitting in church, a place that you've worshipped for so long, and you believed that you and God were so close, and you're sitting there one day and you're listening to all this yin yang, and you're like, what? And you're saying, but I can't understand what they're saying. Well, maybe because the Holy Spirit is trying to tell you, you in the wrong place. Jesus did not preach in a church. Okay, you want to talk to God, you want to be one with God, sit at a park. Sit in a park on a Saturday, not on a Sunday, because Sunday is a day of rest, not church.
Right. Sabbath.
Sit in the
It's Sabbath.
park. Saturday, get a Bible and read. Read the Bible yourself. Read
Okay.
what it says. A lot
Not
of
even the
people.
Bible,
I'm
the
sorry.
let's let just even the Bible, the Torah, because they actually they go to church on Saturday. They
And so
congregate.
and the Quran too. So do the Muslims.
Right. And well, Friday night they do Friday night prayer. The females and the males on one side and all that. Then, but they do salat all the time, always praying. So you know.
But the reality is, when you have an awakening and God really touches you, it's not people go to church because that's what they were taught to do. A lot of people go because they believe that if they're in a group of people that believe in one deity, that's going to save them. In reality, how many children die daily? How many thousands, hundreds of thousands children die daily? And yet people don't ask God a question. But do you ever stop to think that maybe God does want you to ask him why? Because I ask why all the time. And I get answers. I get answers. So with me, like I said, to me, there is a difference between people and humanity. I don't like very many people, but I love humanity. I love being human. I love people who have an awakening, and we can talk about planets, and we can talk about all kinds of stuff that people will look at us and say they're kind of retarded, aren't they? I don't
No.
care, because you know what? Because we're all touched in a way where we find each other. Because all white lighters find themselves, and they're people who don't even know they're white lighters.
Yep.
They're born with a purpose. They just don't know what their purpose is. So they're activated and they're awakened, but
Mm-hmm.
yet it takes some time to find what it is.
True.
Okay.
And
So
it's
when I asked that earlier, that is my definition of humanity and people. You
you
know,
said so. That's what they wanted to know. What do you mean?
sorry it took so long, but it's kind of different. I never had anybody ask me to explain it, how I look at it, but it just to me, a humanitarian, a human person is somebody that doesn't need to follow anybody. They can just do things on their own. They can use this, meditate, and connect with God instantly.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to keep reading. You're so funny.
Oh, you're the one writing it, blissfully rising. I was trying to figure out who's writing.
Nobody.
Oh,
always write blissful arising or blissful awakening, because a lot of people are waking up now.
I
So
know.
people need personal development skills to learn what to do, and a lot of stuff. Like I said, this group we're going to put together. And again, if you're interested and you find after this video, all you got to do is go on Dr. Cicely D'Angelo, PhD, and find me and connect. I'm going to put it up there for people that's interested so we can get together and make this rock. I think this would be cool because not only are we meditating, but we're manifesting and we're bringing all our sources together. So not only that, you'll also learn about spiritual baths and other things that you can do. So we want to know what you do. You definitely. My purpose, which I asked you, was that I know I'm supposed to make master teachers,
Yes.
create teachers so they can do that. So, and I am doing that very well. I think I've been teaching for a long time, and I'm just putting my stamp on the darn thing. And I plan to keep rocking it. Now, what they do with that information is up to them, because that information, let me tell you that the universe does not recognize dark or light. And that's what people need to understand. There is no dark or light. We are the ones that are in charge of our immortality and actually have the things what we will do and what we don't do. We
Yeah.
are the ones that be the judge for us what is right in the white, what is wrong for all that. I
Yeah.
couldn't think of
That's it's intention. There's no
right.
such thing as black or white. It's just an intention of the magic, of the person doing the magic. The intention that they have is what makes it bad. And that's what people don't know. People don't realize, and people can say, "Oh, but you're witches and you deal with witchcraft and people." They don't say Santeria, they say Santa Maria. Okay, if that's what you want to call it, but they don't realize that
Diaz on? No, Diaz. Say Diaz. What is it? Diaz on?
who
Diaz. Dios. Diaz on. Dicio. Not
Dios
Dicio.
bendición.
No, not
No,
bendición. I know bendición is
Dios,
what.
Dios.
Dios. I was saying it right. You made me think I'm going crazy.
No,
Dios.
no,
What does that mean?
God.
Oh, that's a Dios. Dios. Okay.
Yeah, that's God. So basically, it's like I just find it to be ironic when you're talking to people about certain things, especially like with me, when you're not Jehovah's Witness and they come over and we're talking and then they're like, we really would like to have you in our congregation. I said, but I'm gay, right? And then 5 minutes later, it's like, okay, well, we have to go right now. Sure, you do. You have to go. See ya.
Well, Christians are like that. You wait a minute. Do the Mormons do that when they come down? Have you invited the Mormons into your house to come and talk?
I like the Mormons, of Latter-day Saints. I like the Mormons. I think they're cute as hell. They don't even I've never seen an ugly Mormon. All of them are cute.
No, they don't.
Okay, God knows I have evil thoughts when I see them, so don't bring them to my house. And not in this neighborhood, because where I live, almost everybody's gay here. So they'll be in for a shock of their life. Yes, honey. You don't see too many Mormons around here. But there are a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses around here. A lot of them. And I'm just like I said, you know what? I don't worry about anybody. I try to just keep my mind focused. I don't believe in getting into people's business, because people have their own light. They have their own darkness. They can figure it out. And if they can and they want help, they can ask for it. And I will gladly, help them any which way I can. And, try to put them on the right path. And the right path to me is always God. God is always first. God's king, the universe. We are part of the I am, the great I am. That's it.
See, and for me, he says God, I say source.
The source. Yes.
And it has many names, but when people say that, they think of God. And I learned from my metaphysical teacher, God can be many things to different people. So I don't want people to be uncomfortable. Oh, it's just God, but it's Jah, Ra, Yahweh, all these different things.
Yeah, but everybody, but the majority of the people can relate to God because Jehovah Witness call him God. They call him by other names, but you know they're referring to God. They're talking about God. Muslims talk about God. Hindus talk about God. You know what I'm saying? They all talk about God, the I am, the great I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I know when I was hanging out in the Shoshone tribe um, with the Indian chief Whitehorse or something. They used to always do this native prayer, and they used to always say Father and Mother God.
Yes.
You
So do
know,
they do it to men?
yeah,
Father and mother.
Father and Mother God, because they said that God had no sex. God is
Right.
God is unisex, because the same way that the world goes round, it's the same way that the sexes go round, both male
Right.
and female, rotating at the same time.
Right.
So, you
Yeah.
know,
Well, I said that, and then I was talking. Well, today I did was talking on a show about how, like I said, how we devolve and we don't realize that women are having babies, but they needing partners. That back then they did not even need a partner to actually have babies. They think, well, baby Mary was the first one to actually give birth on Immaculate Conception. She's not the first person to give birth Immaculate Conception. There's many people before her, and that's just how we devolved. We
yeah,
have come down. We have come down a grade because we didn't need that. Women were able to produce on their own. And if you look at it in a woman's body, but we, you know what? We'll talk about that on another show. I'll
oh
tell you
yeah,
about
yeah. But I got to go, darling, because I need to get some rest.
All right, my peoples, this has been Coffee with Ori. I hope you will enjoy this. I hope you will go to my page and look me up and see if you can be part of this meditation manifestation tribe that we going to do to make this work. And I appreciate to all my regulars coming on and stepping up and being part of this show. I thanks my BTR fans, and I especially thank my Twitter fans that have been coming out consistently. So I want to thank you for stepping up, and I want to say it's been real, and I hope to see you on the flip side.
Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao.
Adios. Aho.
Aloha.
Smart, smarty. Oh.
Bye, love.